Hey there, guys and gals, and hello, my friends. This is your host, Joe, Life with Yosef, and this is going to be the continuation of Dish Extravaganza 25, number 3. This will be part 3B, and so enjoy. Now, I talked about mile marker signs in the past. And I'm going to film this one really fast here, 40 SBD, and I'm going to walk back and talk about it. But note this right here. I'm on what is now San Bernardino County 66. This used to be US 66, and it's marked as Interstate 40 because for many interstate highways, they were marked prior to being constructed to interstate standards. Hold on, I'm going to get in the car. Now, I've seen this on Interstate 5 and US 99W, for example, where some of the old Pacific Highway on maps, the part that were not yet built to interstate standards, and now maybe I-5 business, were marked I-5. And this is not uncommon, especially out here in the West. So I wanted to point that out. This type of stuff just fascinates the hell out of me. So we are on the Mother Road heading east. We're heading towards Amboy, but I think we're going to stop, I want to say, in Bagdad. I want to see if I can find it. There's not a lot there. I couldn't remember the name of it until just right now. So if I find it, you'll see it. If not, then we'll press on to Amboy. There's some filming that I want to do there, and we'll see what's next. This tree is the last remnant of the town of Bagdad in San Bernardino County, California, on the Mother Road. This is west of Amboy and east of Ludlow. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to pip in a picture right here or two of Baghdad when there was actually civilization here. I love it out here. What a beautiful day. I know some of you, oh my God, I hate the desert, it's ugly. Well, okay, God love you, good for you, but it just leaves more openness for those of me and those of us who love the desert. So here's our 360 of Baghdad. I noticed these bikes at the Ludlow Cafe in Ludlow. Well, our next stop of the day is not quite Amboy, but up at the Amboy Crater National Natural Landmark, which people hike up the crater. And I'm going to tell you, I've never done it, and bluntly, I'm too old now to do it. But if you decide that you're spry enough, my word of advice is you better do this in the winter. You better bring a lot of water, and you better bring somebody with you and have some type of satellite, I need help, a device. I use the Garmin InReach Mini right now. You just never know, and people die out here. People die hiking the crater when it's too hot and they're unprepared. And this is something that you should recognize. So we'll see what's next on to Amboy. I'm pulling into Amboy right here. I had to make a little detour, and then I kind of filmed this out of order, and it may be a bit disjointed, but you'll just have to live with it. Our next stop in Amboy finds us at St. Raymond's Church. It was dedicated in 1951. The land was donated to the diocese by Roy Cowell, who owned Roy's and most of town at the time. Between the church and the highway is the Amboy shoe tree, of which there are a few of these out and about. There's one in Rice, California that we were at over Yule. There's one somewhere near Middlegate in Nevada. I'm going to have to pay more attention when I'm out that way next. Okay, standing across the street, we see the cafe to the left. A lot of motorcycles there today. It's Mother's Day, and people are out for a ride. This is the hotel when it used to be the motel and the office. You can't miss that period styling, architecture. And then you see the little cabins. It looks like there's a strip motel in the back. All of it's closed, and everything in back of this is fenced. Here is the famous and infamous and ever well known around the world Roy sign. And within the last year or two, the innards have been fixed and it works. And I'll pip in a picture of the lit sign, assuming I have one. If not, I'll find it here. There hasn't been ideas of all of this being redone, remodeled, and opened as a motel. But it's a lot of money. There we go. A lot of money. Who knows? This is still worth riding out for if you love this stuff like I do. And I love Amboy. So here we are. And we're going to walk over to the cafe next. And a little bit better shot of the incredibly famous and iconic Roy's Cafe, gas station, motel on the Mother Road in Amboy, San Bernardino County, California. I think we're going to go in here and see if we can't buy a drink. Got to throw these guys at least a little bit of business. 363 miles from the Jackrabbit in Joseph City, Arizona. And I'm going to definitely still shot this and tag them. My lanyard was $5 and my drink was $4. You got to give them some business. I mentioned the pay toilets to the gal at the counter, and she said she remembers them and that they were they had like spikes on top and bottom. I told her, well, when I was here and y'all were closed, there were no spikes. And there you go. So we're just about done here at Roy's. I want to pop up to the school real fast. It's getting to be a little bit later in the day for me. I'm starting to run out of steam. So we'll see what's next. Our last stop in Amboy today finds us at the closed school, the elementary school. Now, I remember, because I've been coming out here for a long time, and those of you who've known me for a long time know that I used to be a voracious reader of newspapers. I worked for one, and I bought them and read the paper literally everywhere I went that I could find the paper, I would. The local weekly, the daily, whatever. So the school here in Amboy used to be an elementary school, and then the junior high and the high school kids used to ride the bus out to Needles. And at the time, it was one of, if not the longest school bus route in the state or the country. I mean, it's 80 miles to get to Needles. It's 160 miles round trip twice a day, or the bus stays there and waits to come back out. The kids who live in Death Valley, actual Death Valley, right down where all the development is, they have to ride the bus to Shoshone. And that's still a pretty long hike. And that may be the longest one now, at least in California. Anyway, I remember reading in the paper how long of a trip it was for the students. And now the school's closed outright, and bluntly, I see the post office, but I don't know if anyone lives in Amboy proper, not anymore. And if they do, by God, what are you going to bus one kid? I know that in Hollister, there was a stink when the school district stopped busing in the way rural parts of the county. And it left the families out there having to drive their kids 20, 30, 40 miles into town each way. It was a real problem. But then on the other hand, the kids have a constitutional right to an education in California. It's in the state constitution, but that doesn't mean that they get bused. I'm not sure that's a constitutional right. I'm not sure it is because, I didn't get a bus to school. I had to walk. I lived, 8 blocks away. It wasn't a big deal. So anyway, I think that's about it for Amboy, and we're going to head south on Amboy Road to 29 Palms, a road I've never been on. So we'll see what's next. Well, here's what I was looking for. Now I see it on the way out. This man right here, his name is Albert Okura, and he passed away about 2 years ago. He is the founder of the Juan Pollo chicken chain in Southern California. He had worked for Del Taco and such, and he ventured out on his own and was wildly successful. And he considered it his destiny to cook more chicken than anyone else and to save Amboy. And he certainly has done a lot of chickens, millions of chickens. And he saved Amboy. He bought the town, lock, stock, and barrel, has slowly worked to improve it. This is his calling and his destiny. Now, my Hanai Vin, and Vin, if you watch this or when you watch this, I'd like you to chime in the comments, has had some interaction with this guy somehow. He told me the story, but I don't remember it. So Vin, if you see this and you want to chime in the comments, maybe a paragraph or so about your interaction with Albert and such, then by God, my memory's oatmeal. So now I think we're done here. I'm running out of steam, and we'll see what's next, and we'll certainly see the close. As I'm pulling into 29 Palms here for the close, I'm looking at about a half an hour of finished product, so I'm going to split this into 2. So this will be the end of Dish Extravaganza 25, number 3B. This is, as always, your host, Joe, Life with Joseph. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Enjoy your day. Peace be with you. No doubt, and keep your head in the game. May Freya show you favor on the hunt. And we'll see you for the next one.